Since it's October, I figure I review a horror game. I could review a Resident Evil game, but then I noticed a bunch of Resident Evil inspired games that have been released over the years, inspired not only by the original games, I would also guess by the remakes of both Resident Evil 2 and 3, and maybe to an extent Resident Evil 4. This is where the term clone comes into play. A clone or inspired media is where a movie, music, or video game are taking ideas from another piece of media and putting their own spin on it. It might be easy to dismiss it as a ripoff, but it's not the case here. There have been plenty of movies and games inspired by other properties which ended up being enjoyable or at least decent. When Saints Row first came out, it was called a GTA clone due to it being a sandbox game and having the theme of gang warfare. Eventually, the franchise was able to shake off the GTA clone stigmatism and form their own identity. When it comes to movies, you may have heard of this term called Die Hard clone, where the main character is outnumbered by the bad guys and has to use his wits to defeat them. One of my favorite Die Hard clones is actually Under Siege, starring, of course, Steven Seagal.
You're in the Navy, remember? It's not a job, it's an adventure.
Oh, Sensei Seagal, teach me your ways. Not on how you eat food. A whole lot of food, I have to say. You may be tempted to think that these Resident Evil inspired titles exist to only appeal to fans of the franchise and their nostalgia, which may be true to an extent, but also an opportunity to attract other people who have never played a Resident Evil game before. It might get them curious about checking out the series after playing one of these games. There is one particular game that has caught my eye while searching up these games, Selene's Unbearable Night. This game was made by Fearless, a solo developer, which, looking at this game, is impressive, being made by one person. This person has also made other titles, including one with the name Unbearable. I wonder if this is the first game and this is the sequel. Well, regardless, I played this first. So what's the game like? Is it any good? In this you play as Selene, who one night visited this diner, run by this woman named Olivia. While waiting on a cappuccino and doing important things like going to the bathroom and turning on the jukebox, the two chatted up for a while.
Are you from around here? I don't remember seeing you before.
No, I'm just coming to visit a friend.
That is until this masked dude comes in, pointing a gun and demanding money.
Don't look at me!
Take all you want, but leave us alone.
You won't tell me what to do!
Well, I guess you could say that her night is going to be unbearable. Selene wakes up in a basement tied to a chair. After getting free, she finds Olivia injured and lying on the floor.
Come on, we have to get out of here.
I don't feel well.
Did they hurt you? Let me see. You're bleeding. Stay here while I find a way out.
Thank you. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this.
Everything will be fine. You'll see.
What is going on? Where are they? Why were they kidnapped? That is up to us to find out. After finding a stone and using it to bash open this door, somehow, it leads straight into the mansion itself. Oh dear lord, it's dark. Luckily there's a flashlight. This is where you can see the Resident Evil influences coming through, exploring this mansion, solving puzzles like this bookshelf requiring 5 books to open a secret passage behind it, and there's even a clock puzzle. While exploring, you come across these creepy beings just hanging out.
My name is Jeff.
Hell, there's one creepy scene where this zombie comes to life and crawls out of the room. It's like the Ring Girl when she's crawling out of the TV. Eventually, you'll enter this secret room behind the bookshelf and play a projector. The movie doesn't tell you that much, but it should give some idea on what's going on. There might be some weird zombie experiments going on here. After solving the keypad puzzle, you and Olivia get caught by this fella, and a chase scene ensues. The both come to a dead end and are cornered. That's where the zombie from before ambushes the goon, and both fall to their death. While exploring the underground tunnels, the duo come across this woman and her bizarre ritual. She runs off somewhere. Going further, the pair gets split up for the first of many times. Selene even hands Olivia her gun. Aw, that's nice, even though they just met. So now we're unarmed, but not for long as we discover a knife, and this is where the game introduces stealth takedowns, which consists of giving enemies a piggyback ride before snapping their necks. God damn, that's a cold-blooded killer right there. Selene, what is it that you do for a living? Cause you killed that guy with such efficiency. That makes you think you're what, former military? Or an assassin? Yeah, that's it. Funny, her being an action girl now, the way she looks kind of reminds me of Jill Valentine and also Lara Croft. In 2013's Tomb Raider, where in the first half, Lara is a scared, meek girl, and then later on, she's killing bad guys left and right, and is even armed with a bow and arrow. Funny enough, in this game, it gives you one. So, after crawling in the vents like JC Denton from Deus Ex, I'm spotted once again by a goon. But that's nothing a good old neck snap can't take care of.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
Later on, I came across this room with what is supposed to be a big mirror, but it ends up looking like a big-ass TV screen. And I know what game this is referencing. Silent Hill 3, where Heather goes into that one room with the big mirror and creepy stuff starts happening on it. It's really baffling how a game from 2003 has better mirror effects. We get a scene of this woman tied to a chair and this creature showing up. And we have a boss fight. This creature has an obvious weak spot on its back. What you're supposed to do is lose its line of sight, to which it gives up looking for you, and then you hit the weak spot. Olivia shows up and the two have to run away from this creature. After running away, in a plot twist, Olivia betrays Selene and knocks her out.
I think he's gone.
Bonk!
I'm sorry.
For a Resident Evil inspired game, it's not bad. Sure, there's some jank here and there, but it's a decent game. It controls well enough. There's actually a dash move which is really useful for dodging attacks, especially on boss fights, and there's plenty of them. There's a decent amount of weapons to use, from the pistol, the bow and arrow, and of course, the shotgun, which is a staple weapon of zombie media. And later on, this MP7, which is called an Uzi for some reason. There's also melee attacks with Selene's knife, and apparently there's a block and parry system for the players and also the enemies. Speaking of melee, when playing as Olivia, there's an actual sword fight with a big bad. Oh yes!
But I'm a fair man, and you are just a woman. Take the sword, and let's get this over with.
You will pay for everything you've done.
The best strategy I found for this is just to wail on him until I win. You'll be switching between Selene and Olivia as you progress in the game. I have to say, Olivia here is looking like Ada Wong from the remake of Resident Evil 4 with her outfit. There are very few level designs in the game. The mansion itself is not that big, and since this is made on Unity, it could be an asset flip. There's the underground tunnels to which most of the game takes place. And later on, you got this place in the woods, which is made up of some ruins and this cemetery. Design-wise, it's kind of okay. It does lack some memorable levels. Well, almost. The most memorable level is the underground tunnels themselves. I want to mention the voice acting. When this game first came out, there was no voice talent behind this. Instead, it used text-to-speech voice. I'm not kidding.
I need to get out of here. Come on. We have to get out of here.
I don't feel well.
Did they hurt you? Let me see. You're bleeding. Stay here while I find a way out.
Thank you. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this.
Everything will be fine. You'll see. There is nothing here. I should calm down.
Fuck! Go away! I'll find a way to catch up with you later.
Are you crazy? I'm not going to leave you here alone.
I hear someone approaching.
Take this, please.
Thank you.
So now there's actual voice talent for both the main characters, the villain who goes by the name Magnus, by the way, and also some recordings for the cultist goons.
I found her!
You really never cease to amaze me, Olivia. Or should I say Sarah?
Fuck you!
After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me.
Now, I'm not going to spoil the whole plot. I think you should go check this out. The game is around 3 hours to complete. I will mention a bit more about the plot, like, who the heck is Selene? Well, at the end of the game, she's apparently a journalist? Also, we meet other characters like Rodrigo, to whom I don't know anything about, and this other woman named Claudia.
Do you think I was going to let Rodrigo do this alone?
They took Rodrigo.
No. I free him. We must hurry. He will return soon to pick us up.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
No problem.
Funny enough, while researching this game, there is a Claudia in Unbearable, so she could be the same person. Maybe I should play that one next to see if there's any connection to this game. One more thing to mention about this game. Upon completing it, you unlock some costumes and one other hairstyle, which is not a whole lot, to be honest. There definitely should be more costumes to try out. Also, I will mention, since this game is getting updated, how about mod support? Because hey, I think it would be funny if there was a CJ skin mod to download for this.
I ain't got time for this shit. I'm gonna put you to sleep, punk.
You're making a terrible mistake with your life. You won't even get near me.
As I said before, despite its flaws and the short length, it's not a bad game. There's definitely some good ideas here. I'm actually intrigued by the plot. I want to find out more about these characters, about the cultists, and how they were able to create these creatures. Maybe after Project Amber, if there is a sequel, hopefully it can expand the plot. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my Twitter page, and also my shop on redbubble.com, Mad Cat Mech Shop, where I sell mecha-themed merch.